All right, we start with the news. And we've talked a lot about Jamal Adams the past couple of days, but things keep getting more and more interesting. And apparently there is some rumors are swirling about Jamal Adams actually being traded to the 49ers. So we know, of course, he requested the trade, and the 49ers were one of the 7 teams, which probably is now 8 teams, including the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, that Adams wanted to be traded to. And, of course, it was like, okay, Niners are on the list. Could they trade for him? No, I don't have a lot of money. It'd be hard to do. Well, SI.com yesterday put out a whole thing talking about how, hey, 49ers, Jamal Adams, the trade might actually be happening. Take a look at what Grant Cohn from Sports Illustrated, who's very well connected, had to say just the other day. Quote, I just got a direct message from a well-placed source saying Jamal Adams to the 49ers is, quote, picking up steam. Did you hear that? Picking up steam. This is not, well, would he be a good fit? This is, hey, a well-placed source told me it's picking up steam in terms of the 49ers trying to acquire Jamal Adams. This is big news for every single 49er fan and means, hey, potentially it could be coming. Now, if you go down on the SI.com article, and you can just Google the SI.com article, Cohn actually does not confirm that it will happen. He goes out of his way to say, hey, this does not mean it's 100% guaranteed, but it's more likely than it was a couple of days ago that the 49ers could be looking to trade for Jamal Adams. At worst, I think this tells us that the 49ers will at least pick up the phone. John Lynch will make a call to the Jets and see, hey, what's the asking price? What would it take? And if it's not that much, like let's say it's not a first-round draft pick, maybe a second-round draft pick and a player, maybe the deal could actually get done. Now, where does he fit on the 49er defensive back depth chart? Honestly, either one of these safeties, you could go ahead and swap out, but it would probably be Tart because obviously they just gave Jimmy Ward a brand new contract. If you put Jamal Adams into this depth chart, this is a crazy, crazy, crazy good secondary, and it's by far the best defense in the National Football League. It might already be the best defense in the National Football League. By far, though, with Jamal Adams here, makes it one of the best defenses in the entire National Football League. I will ask you guys, though, should the 49ers trade for Jamal Adams? Right now in the comment section, type Y down below for yes, type N down below for no. My breakdown on if they should or if they shouldn't is very, very simple. Here's the deal. Should every single 49er fan want Jamal Adams on the 49ers? Yes, 100%. Could we get Jamal Adams for less than a first-round draft pick? Maybe. If you could do that, would you do it? The answer for me, no, because how are you going to pay him? That's the problem right now with the 49ers. They don't have enough money to pay George Kittle. George Kittle is demanding $20 million a year, and even if he would take $15 million a year, the 49ers still do not have enough money to sign him. Now, Adams is only going to make about $850,000 this year, so technically you could, play him this year for a very cheap salary, but next season you've got to make him the highest paid safety in the NFL. I just don't see how the Niners have the money to do so unless they want to get rid of somebody who's a key player on their team, maybe a D Ford, maybe, I don't know, Richard Sherman, somebody else. What would it take to free up the money? It'd take a lot of big moves. I don't see the 49ers doing it, but hey, what do I know? SI.com picking up steam for Jamal Adams being traded to the 49ers. What's also picking up steam is us, as we are now approaching 30,000 subscribers. Remember, it was 25,000 subs just a couple of weeks ago. We hit 25,000 subs here on the 49ers Report, and now there's the current sub count, 25,329. Let's get a couple more subs in this show, right? If you're watching this show and you love the show, but you haven't subscribed yet, then just click the little red subscribe button down below and also click the notification bell. That way you guys are notified whenever we go live. Because if you have the notification bell clicked, you would know when we went live because it popped up on your cell phone saying, hey, the 49ers Report is live. So let's get that sub count up and the notification bell clicked as well. Moving on, the next bit of news here has to do with Deebo Samuel and his injury. I have good news regarding the Deebo Samuel injury. We know he broke the bone in his foot, the Jones fracture, which everyone was saying, oh my gosh, will he be ready for week 1? Everything I read, everything I was told was more like week 4, 5, or 6. Well, Deebo Samuel took to his Instagram live, actually live from the hospital, as he has had his surgery but has not left the hospital yet, and said he expects to be back in 10 weeks. Now, if you want to quickly do the math in your head or pull out the calendar on your phone and you mark out 10 weeks till the very first game, that basically lines up perfectly with the very first game. Now, here's what Niners Nation had to say about Samuel's status in terms of him being ready. Quote, the 24-year-old is still in the hospital, like we said, but said his surgery went perfect, adding that he should be back in 10 weeks, which means he would be ready for week 1. So again, this is where we're getting these sources from. If you watched the Deebo Samuel Instagram live, you would have known that already. But essentially, when you line up 10 weeks, if everything goes well, which is probably the kicker here, everything has to go well, no setbacks, because a week-long setback could derail the week 1 opportunity. It looks like Deebo is going to be ready sooner rather than later, which is huge news for 49er fans. We did a video a couple of days ago talking about free agent wide receiver replacements. They do not need to go get a free agent wide receiver if Deebo is going to be ready to go and really play well week 1. Like, that's the big thing. Now, if it's going to be week 4, 5, 6, then maybe you do go sign a Demaryius Thomas, or you kick the bucket on Des Bryant. But if he's ready to go week 1, then there's no need to sign anybody else. I think that's the best case scenario for the 49ers. So I wanted to give you guys the good Deebo Samuel news, because last week on this show, we broke the bad, broke his foot Deebo Samuel news. Here's the good one. Back in 10 weeks, hopefully ready to go by week 1. Also, look at this stuff. This is brand new here in terms of the sale going on for July 4th. Chatsports.com/49ers4th has these official red, white, and blue July 4th t-shirts right now, all on sale. They're like, a majority of them are less than $20. So the red you saw, there's the gray one. There's the blue one. To me, they all look really, really sweet. If you want to pick one up right now, chatsports.com/49ers4th. I looked at the calendar today, and it was like, wow, it's already June 25th. July 4th is right around the corner. So buy one now. That way it gets to your house in time for you to wear it on the 4th of July for Independence Day. Again, chatsports.com/49ers4th. These are selling like hotcakes, so jump on them right now. Link is down below in the description box. Back to Deebo Samuel being healthy. Again, many people consider him the best wide receiver on this football team. I consider him wide receiver number 1, and what should be the number 1 target for Jimmy Garoppolo going into the 2020 season, probably minus George Kittle. But even then, the leaps and bounds that Deebo Samuel made from preseason week 1 to regular season week 1 to about regular season week 8 or 9 was night and day difference. I mean, he absolutely balled out the later half of the NFL season. And if he can be ready to go and 100% week 1, then this wide receiver group is going to be all the more better, because that way you don't have to rely on Brandon Ayuk or Jalen Hurd or Trent Taylor, who apparently is healthy, according to Trent Taylor, like 8 times. He should be good to go in terms of the 49ers having a very potent passing attack, and also, of course, a very potent rushing attack. Now, if he were to miss week 1, would it be the end of the world? No. I think he could technically miss the first 3 weeks, and the 49ers would still be 3-0. Yes, the Cardinals are a lot better than a lot of people think, but it's the home opener at Levi Stadium. I really think San Francisco will have no trouble with them week 1. Now, later on in the Big Toaster could be different. Then you have at the Jets, who we know are not going to be good, and maybe it's Jamal Adams' return, right? Week 2 it could be. And then at the Giants, who, I mean, Saquon's there and Daniel Jones year 2, but in reality, it's still probably an 8-8 or a 7-19. Philadelphia on Sunday Night Football is your first big test. We've talked about this a lot on the 49ers report, but technically, if Deebo is not ready week 1, you could not force him back or rush him back, because you got some easy games coming up. You don't want him to be, a lingering injury throughout the remainder of the season. You guys think Deebo will be ready for week 1? Do you believe Deebo when he says he's going to be ready for week 1? Type 1 down below for yes. Type 2 down below for no. I honestly don't know. Listen, he said the surgery went perfect, 10 weeks. I'm going to take him at his word. Hopefully he's ready to go for week 1. I think the 49ers need him out there. Type 1 down below for yes. Type 2 down below for no. Final bit of news before we jump into our Q&A. This was fun. So like this for the past week and a half, apparently Peyton Manning and different people involved with Peyton Manning have been talking about what it was like during the offseason of the 2020 NFL season, when every single team was trying to woo Peyton Manning in free agency. Apparently, Peyton was very, 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 very close to being a 49er. Now, we, of course, knew this. Most 49er fans knew that it was basically between the Niners, the Broncos, and a couple of other teams. I don't think people realize just how close this actually was. Now, of course, Peyton eventually signed a mega deal with the Denver Broncos, but Jim Harbaugh actually said this to the media a couple of days ago, quote, "The organization was fully in on Peyton Manning coming to the 49ers, and they handled the recruitment and negotiations. It was, well, Jed is going to find a way," which I took to mean that he was going to figure out, and it would be a 0 players we would lose. And Peyton Manning talked about going to San Francisco and throwing the football with Jim Harbaugh, the former quarterback, right? Jim Harbaugh, and Harbaugh trying to test to see how much arm strength he had, because Peyton's coming off the neck fusion. It's a crazy story you can find online right now, just really how close Peyton was to actually becoming a San Francisco 49er. Now, if you go back to what the schedule looked like, or what the seasons looked like comparatively between the 49ers in 2012 and the Broncos led by Peyton Manning in 2012, you can argue, well, listen, San Francisco was good to go. They had the Alex Smith injury and then Cap, and then went to the Super Bowl. But Peyton had a lot more playoff performances and eventually did win his Super Bowl overall. And it's just interesting to kind of think of what if. Like, could the 49ers have actually won a Super Bowl with Peyton Manning. Now remember, 2012 Super Bowl year, Kaepernick. Now 2013 is, of course, the Richard Sherman, Michael Crabtree loss in the NFC title game. But then in 14 and 15, that's where they started to kind of fall off the rope. And 2015 was the Jim Tom Sula year, which we all know was the start of not a very good time in San Francisco. Had Peyton been there, would they have won? Does it matter now? No, but I want to ask the question anyway because I think it's fascinating. Would the Niners have won a Super Bowl with Peyton Manning? I think Harbaugh and Manning would have done it. I really do. Now, of course, Harbaugh and Kaepernick were very, very close in 2012. So insert Manning, a little more, consistency. The numbers that he put up with in Denver would have been duplicated, I think, anywhere he went. I mean, you just look at straight up the 2013 season, whenever they lost the Super Bowl to the I'm blanking right now, the Seattle Seahawks, 55 touchdowns. It was then an NFL record. 2015, it comes back a little bit more. He still won the Super Bowl. He was injured a little bit that year. I think overall they probably would have won a Super Bowl with Peyton Manning, but if ifs and buts, right, we're candies and nuts. That's how the saying goes. So, oh well. I think the 49ers are fine right now. I'm very happy with Jimmy Garoppolo and win a Super Bowl going forward in the future. All right, again, be sure to subscribe. That way you guys are notified whenever we jump on here for the latest news, rumors, mailbags, live videos. We do segments. We talk about players. We do everything here regarding the 49ers. So go ahead and subscribe down below. You guys are notified whenever we go ahead and jump on this show.